Hi everyone, Mr. Hawkins with Hawkins Tech, and today Apple released iOS 18.5 Beta 3. This update was released alongside iPadOS 18.5 Beta 3, macOS 15.5 Beta 3, watchOS 11.5 Beta 3, and tvOS and HomePodOS 18.5 Beta 3 is also out as well. Now, I am not running the 18.5 betas. I am on iOS 18.4.1, but as usual, I'm going to talk about what's new in iOS 18.5 Beta 3. Now, iOS 18.5 really is a minor update, and Beta 3 doesn't really add too many new features, so I'm going to mention Beta 1 and Beta 2's new features, and that's first underneath device warranty. We go into About. If you are on iOS 18.5, this will show up for you, and if you have Apple Care Plus, this will show up for you also. It has a slightly updated UI. It looks sort of different from this UI in iOS 18.5. So you have an updated UI under device coverage, and I believe it also shows here in Apple Care and Warranty. It might have an updated UI if you go into your devices. There's my iPad. Even though I don't have iCloud storage, different things can sync across, like my notes in the Craft app can sort of sync across here as well. As far as other features, if we go into the Mail app, in Beta 2, they added this feature where you can sort of see a cropped sort of image of the All Mail section. It was like cropping next to promotions. It was kind of sort of cropping. They added that as a feature. And also the ability to turn off contact posters directly from the Mail app itself. Now, if we go into Photos here and we go into Recently Deleted, Verified Face ID. If I go ahead and delete this screenshot here, and then we go into Recently Deleted, there was an option where it says Recover and Delete. It only says Recover and Delete. So I guess it was a bug in iOS 18.4 that wasn't supposed to be there. It would say Recover All and Delete All. It seems like it was showing up for me when I made Beta 2's video, is I'm not installed on the betas, but I just mentioned them. I make videos on the betas without running the betas. But there was an option that said Recover and Delete All, even on 18.4. Well, on 18.4.1, they changed that. And now I'm assuming they removed this in Beta 2. It was added back in Beta 1, deleted in Beta 2. So you don't have the option that says Recover All and Delete All. You just have Recover and Delete. So they removed that in iOS 18.5 Beta 3. As far as other features, well, I believe somewhere here I got an update for a notification in Vision Pro. Here is a new update in Vision Pro. Can't find where that update is here. Well, there was some sort of new update in Apple Vision Pro. I didn't get a look at it. I'm going to have to dig deeper into that app to see what's new in Vision OS or with the Vision Pro app. It is not letting me click on that one. As far as other releases from Apple, well, or when to expect other releases rather, since we have iOS 18.5 Beta 3, this confirms it as we are on a weekly release now. From Beta 1 to Beta 2, we were on a 2-week release cycle. Now we are on a 1-week release cycle. Last week, we got Beta 2. This week, Beta 3. Next week, however, I would expect Beta 4. And I don't think it's going to add any new features. Judging by the last 3 betas that we've gotten, the last couple iOS versions will probably be bug fixes. Now, I didn't mention this in my last video, and I want to take the time to mention this now. I still believe we are going to get Pride wallpapers, as we seem to get those every year. These are the ones that we got last year. While iOS 18.5 is indeed a small update, I do still believe we are going to get Pride wallpapers, and when we do get those wallpapers, I will make a video talking about that as well as all of the other changes in iOS 18.5. But we're most likely not going to get those until probably the release candidate, as that's what Apple usually does. So when the release candidate happens, and I would expect that on May 5th, then we're going to get those new Pride wallpapers. And then on May 12th, I would expect the final release of iOS 18.5. Now, the software that we're all anticipating, iOS 19, it's looking like it's going to be huge with circular icons, the ability to switch between square and circular icons, sort of a Vision OS inspired redesign. And I'm hoping that we kind of get some sort of floating tab bar, maybe have the option to see our different controls for back and forward. Because currently with iOS 18, we got the option to hide distracting items. That was one of the updates we got to Safari, along with sort of website transcriptions or website summaries, where it summarizes different websites and updates to reader mode. We got those updates and a lot of Apple Intelligent capability in Safari in iOS 18. But I'm hoping in iOS 19 we get a somewhat of a floating tab bar. As in the iPad, we have a lot of apps that have floating tab bars, such as App Store, the Home app, Podcasts, Music, and some other apps. They all have the floating tab bar, but they have sort of a different tab bar. It's not necessarily a floating tab bar, it's more of a tab group. I will show you on the iPad. On the iPad, if we go into the App Store here, you can see we have this tab group where we have all of our tabs kind of next to each other. And the same thing applies if you go into Music. If I go into Music here, you have the same sort of layout. Now, this was already in iPadOS 18, but Apple could expand on it in iPadOS 19. As far as when to expect the first initial beta, however, we can expect that as soon as June 9th. And I will make a video whether I'm running the beta or not. Kind of like what I'm doing with this video. I don't run the beta, but I just talk about what's in it. Initially, I had plans to run the beta, but I feel like that could change, as if I upgrade this particular iPhone, I might not be able to keep my iPhone 12. And I'm also not putting the beta on my iPad. I thought about it. There's a good chance I still could put it on there, but most likely not, as I use my iPad to edit videos. Even though I'm going to be editing on my iPhone, I'm still going to be doing other things on my iPad where I need it to be my reliable device. So installing a beta on there, such as iOS 19, could compromise what I use it for. But I will still make videos and show pictures of iOS 19. Now, when it releases to the public in September, then I will have a video. Whether or not my video is going to be an hour long, probably not, because even on an iPhone with 128 gigabytes, trying to record a 1 hour long video, I don't know if anyone's done that before, and I most certainly probably won't. I would say I'm going to have to split the video up into different sections, as iOS 19 is going to be huge, and this will be my first ever major iOS release, because when I started this channel in November, it was already 2 months since iOS 19, or iOS 18 rather, released. But when iOS 19 releases, I'm going to make a long, dedicated video covering the changes. It's not going to be long as some other YouTubers' videos, but it's going to be probably like at least 30 to 40 minutes. That's as long as I'm willing to go to make this video. I will have to probably split it up. If I decide to make it 30 minutes, I might do one video and then do another video, maybe either that night or the next day, or maybe mention it in a follow-up video where I mention features I've missed. It just depends. But nonetheless, I will have a video when iOS 19 releases. So stay tuned for that in September. As far as anything else from Apple, well, that's it for iOS 18.5. It's quite a small update. If you enjoyed this video, like, comment, and subscribe. I'm Mr. Hawkins with Hawkins Tech, and I'll see you guys later.